Hello, ladies, and welcome to week 7 of our Proverbs 31 Bible study. So far, we've explored week 1, the value in God's eyes. That was Proverbs 31:10. Week 2, trust and integrity. That was Proverbs 31:11 to 12. Week 3, diligence, planning, and care. That was Proverbs 31:13 to 15. Week 4, wisdom, productivity, and perseverance. That was Proverbs 31:16 to 18. Week 5 was skill, generosity, and preparedness. That was Proverbs 31:19 to 21. Week 6, preparation, elegance, and enterprise. That was Proverbs 31:22 to 24. So this week, we focus on verses 25 to 27, which highlight strength, dignity, and wisdom. Qualities that empower a Proverbs 31 woman to navigate life with confidence and grace. So let's begin by reading scripture. She is clothed with strength and dignity. She can laugh at the days to come. She speaks with wisdom, and faithful instruction is on her tongue. She watches over the affairs of her household and does not eat the bread of idleness. Now I'm going to read it in the King James Version. Strength and honor are her clothing, and she shall rejoice in time to come. She openeth her mouth with wisdom, and in her tongue is the law of kindness. She looketh well to the ways of her household, and eateth not the bread of idleness. Notice the action words: clothed, laughs, speaks, watches, and does not eat. These show inner strength, wise speech, and diligent oversight. So teaching part 1 is strength and dignity. Verse 25 says, she is clothed with strength and dignity. She can laugh at the days to come. So strength is inner resilience and reliance on God. Dignity, oh boy, guys. Dignity reflects self-respect and honorable behavior. She faces the future without fear and confident in God's provision. So there are a couple definitions I want to highlight and go over with you guys. First is resilience, which is the ability to adapt well to adversity, to trauma, or significant stress, and to bounce back from difficult experiences. It involves mental, emotional, and behavioral flexibility, allowing individuals or systems to recover from setbacks, maintain well-being, and even grow through challenges. Key aspects and types of resilience are mental and emotional resilience, processing emotions and adapting to change. Physical is recovering from injury or physical stress. Social, utilizing support systems and relationships to navigate through tough times. Systems like businesses, returning to an original state after disruption. Usage examples and context: personal growth, developing coping strategies to manage stress, such as an example like maybe taking some deep breaths, to help regulate your nervous system, which I actually put in the group different ways to help cope with stress, emotional regulation. So if you don't have any ideas of your own, you could reference the Proverbs 31 Bible group and see strategies that I post every day to help you guys get through that. Now, workplace navigating, overcoming challenges, and thriving in the face of pressure. Physical properties, the capacity of a material to resume its shape after being bent or stretched. It's good. Ecosystems, an environment's ability to recover after disturbance. So some synonyms are adaptability, elasticity, recovery, fortitude, I'm not going to get into all the synonyms, but resilience is not a fixed trait. It involves behaviors, thoughts, and actions that can be learned and developed by anyone. Reliance is another definition I want to get into, is the act of depending on, trusting, or having confidence in someone or something. It signifies a state of need for support or certainty, often referring to a person or thing that is relied upon. In legal terms, it refers to taking action based on another party's promise or statement. A couple of synonyms, I'm not going to read all of them. Dependence, trust, confidence, assurance, faith, backbone. Okay, it looks like I did just read all of them. Usage, examples, general. Your reliance on the internet for your information will be your undoing. Business, heavy reliance on one client is risky when you are building up a business. Contextual, resilience on silence is the key to his performance. Political, social, U.S. reliance on foreign oil threatens its economy, which we're all dealing with high gas prices right now because of oil. So you guys learned that example even when we don't want to. Okay. Key aspects, legal, known as promissory estoppel. This refers to taking action based on another's promises. Excessive use, often in context like continued reliance. Excessive reliance to describe overdependence on a system or person. Okay, reflection prompt. Where in your life could you demonstrate more strength, dignity this week? 2, how does trusting God allow you to face uncertainty with peace? Okay, teaching part 2, wisdom in speech. Verse 26 says, she speaks with wisdom and faithful instruction is on her tongue. Okay, her words are thoughtful, purposeful, and nurturing. Wisdom in speech teaches, encourages, and corrects with grace. Jumping into some definitions so we can really understand this and really embody it. So thoughtful definition describes someone who is considerate of others' needs, or someone absorbs in serious contemplative thought. It implies careful, reflective thinking or a kind, attentive, and caring nature. Definitions: considerate, kind, showing care for the feeling, comfort, or well-being of others. Contemplative, meditative, engrossed in thought, pensive, methodical, excuse me if I butcher that, characterized by careful, reasoned thinking. Some synonyms are considerate, attentive, caring, kind, reflective, prudent. Usage examples: that was a very thoughtful gift. She has a thoughtful approach to her work. He looked thoughtful and didn't speak for a few minutes. Purposeful is another definition I want to go over. It describes having a clear, intentional aim or being full of determination and resolve. It indicates action taken with deliberate, strategic focus rather than by accident, such as a purposeful walk, purposeful engaged women. Synonyms include intentional, deliberate, determined, resolute, and meaningful. Usage examples are intentionality. She made a purposeful decision to pursue a career in environmental science. Determination: a beautiful dressed businessman, purposeful walk. Strategic focus: good car companies use show models to communicate purposeful orchestration of their evolving roster of products. Meaningful activity: you do get the sense that if the work is not purposeful, he won't stick around. Okay, some key synonyms are intentional and deliberate, done on purpose, resolute, determined, firm in purpose, meaningful, significant, having a clear, important goal. A common pitfall, okay? Purposefully with intent is sometimes incorrectly used where purposely, intentionally is meant, though they are often used interchangeably in modern usage. Now, the next definition is nurturing. Nurturing is the act of providing care, support, education, and nourishment to foster the growth, development, or success of someone or something. Okay, it involves active encouragement, protection, and emotional support to help a person or living thing thrive. Often uh, contrasted with nature as the environmental influence on development. Some usage examples are child development, parents nurturing their children by offering emotional support, encouragement, and a safe environment. Professional growth, mentors nurturing young talent by training and guiding them in their careers. Business, relationship building, nurturing relationships through trust, spending time together, and understanding each other's needs. Personal development, nurturing an idea, skill, or talent to help it grow. Some synonyms. There's a little bit more, but I'm going to skip. Some synonyms of nurturing are fostering, nourishing, upbringing, nursing, cultivating, developing, supporting. Key aspects of nurturing: physical nurturance, providing substance, food, and protection. Emotional nourishance, offering empathy, love, a listening ear, and kindness. Educational nuances: training, teaching, and mentoring. Reflective prompt: how can you cultivate wisdom in your daily conversations, and what words could you speak this week to uplift and instruct others faithfully? Okay, part 3 is diligence and responsibility. Verse 27 says, she watches over the affairs of her household and does not eat the bread of idleness. She is diligent, proactive, and responsible in her life. Being industrious and engaged reflects faithfulness and care. Okay, jumping into some definitions. Diligent describes a person or action characterized by steady, earnest, and painstaking effort. It means working hard, thoroughly, and persistently to accomplish a task. A diligent person is industrious, attentive to details, and dedicated to completing duties rather than being negligent, which I can improve on. Anyway, usage examples: a diligent student who completes all assignments. On time, diligent research involving years of careful study. Diligent efforts made to achieve a specific goal. A diligent worker who is thorough, focused, and persistent. Some synonyms are persevering, steady and persisting, tireless, painstaking. So another definition is being proactive. Means taking initiative and controlling a situation by making things happen or preparing for the future problems rather than simply reacting to events after they occur. Okay, it involves anticipating needs, creating change, and acting in advance to produce positive outcomes. So, work proactively scheduling a project review to prevent potential bottlenecks. Daily life: replacing a car battery before it dies. Customer service: contacting clients about a service delay before they complain. Communication: fixing a potential misunderstanding in an email before sending it. Synonyms of proactive are anticipatory, preemptive, take charge. Okay, some key characteristics are anticipation, seeing problems before they arise. No, the Lord is not asking us to be a genie, but using wisdom and discernment, when we're like, something might come amuck here. Let's be proactive and try to get to the resolution before the problem even occurs. Okay, action oriented, which brings us to the next characteristic: focusing on what can be done now to improve the future. Ownership: taking responsibility for actions and outcomes. Opposite: reactive, waiting for things to happen. Don't be like that, ladies. Okay, so another definition is responsible. Refers to being accountable, answerable, or the cause of an action, obligation, or event. It describes someone trustworthy who makes sound decisions or a task position involving high stakes. Key uses include taking duty for actions, causing an outcome, or managing a position of authority. All right, common synonyms include accountable, answerable, liable to account for conduct, trustworthy, reliable, dependable, and conspicuous. Lord, guys, give me some grace with some of these words. Thank you, ladies. Anyway, liable, responsible, legal or moral obligation, relational, sensible, capable of making good judgments, cause, agent, the source of an event. So some usage examples are accountability. She is responsible for auditing the financial reports. Cause, high winds were responsible for the damage. Trustworthiness, I hired a responsible babysitter. Position, duty, he holds a responsible position in the firm. Authority, responsible, government or socially responsible. Key aspects are legal, liable for legal review or penalties, rational, capable of choosing between right and wrong, and financial, able to pay or perform, having sound credit. Reflection prompt. Are there areas in your life where idleness has crept in? 2. How can you take responsibility for your own growth, household, or community this week? So, some reflection questions that I want to read to you guys. Please feel free to comment your answers in the group so we can all discuss them together. If you comment, you might bring up something that somebody else didn't even think of, and it can help improve their lives. We're all growing together, so it's important that we tell each other, our weaknesses, so that way we can help each other grow, it refines us. So, some reflection questions this week. How can you cultivate inner strength and dignity this week? Number 2, how can your speech reflect wisdom and faithfulness? And 3, are there areas where you can increase diligence and responsibility in your life? So again, I encourage journaling and group discussion. Even if you don't want to write it in the group, journal it, journal it so you're aware, you can see it in writing, and you can grow. And chart all the things that you do intentionally. So in closing, thank you for joining week 7 of Proverbs 31 Bible study. Remember, God is shaping women who are strong, dignified, wise, and diligent. Even in your single season, these qualities are being developed to empower you and bless those around you. So closing prayer. Lord, thank you for teaching us strength, dignity, and wisdom. Help us apply these lessons in our words, actions, and responsibilities. Guide our lives so we reflect your character and influence others positively. Amen.